funk. Thoughts deep, boys steeped in the depths that he sunk. Big stress, depressed in the middle of fall. Sky gray, I late in the thick of it all. I wonder, how long can a human survive just staying alive or carrying the rest of the tribe? Waiting for the day to arrive or struggling dies, and I be doing way, way more than getting by. So why? Cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Realize life is so much more than just living a day. Every day I can sit and reflect and reconnect to myself and all that I've been given. See, giving up is not an option. So while I'm looking at gray skies, I'll be adopting a new way to deal with a test. Lord, relieve me of stress. The rain be looking like when blessings drop in. And so I cop myself a cup of coffee, sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Sipping water in it softly, cleansing me of stress I hold. Hey, here we go. Yeah, let's do this. Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3. In times of test, let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord. Test. Let no harm beset me, oh my Lord, oh my Lord.
Warning, the following image and/or content may be disturbing, offensive to some viewers. Viewer discretion is strongly advised. Yes. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Salute. Welcome. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the podcast. My name is Urban. Appreciate you tuning in on this fine Sunday. Hope y'all having a great day so far. I am, for the most part, take care of some things. Got a lot of one rest today, too. So that's always a good thing for good old Urban. I'm just saying. Yes. Many of my subscribers, they call me one of the hardest working content creators on this YouTube streets, and I believe them for real. I do. I honestly believe it. I'm like one of the hardest working content creators for real. Because over here in the lounge, we always engage in thought provoking content. I know that different content creators, they have their certain niches where they want to cover tea content, they want to cover beefing content, entertainment content, whatever the hell they want to do. Have no problem with that. But over here in the lounge, we engage in thought-provoking content that can be very well entertaining as well, too. No lie. Today is no different, y'all. To be honest with you, I was debating if I was just going to do a breaking news story for y'all, just to let y'all know what's happening in the political arena. But you know what? I said, what the hell with it? We're just going to actually have a show talking about this, all right? Because there's a lot that been happening this past week dealing with the political universe, as I call it, right? A lot of things been going on and stuff. And this particular thing is like one of them critical nail in the coffin thing that I want to talk to y'all about today on this podcast. I may be feeling a little good today. I might be feeling a little good that I may actually invite people up to have a conversation today. You know what I'm saying? So y'all know how I am on that. But I just may be feeling good enough to invite people up and share their perspective about what we're going to talk about today on this podcast. But I believe that it's very vital. I believe it's very important and very critical that we need to talk about this thing for real. Because it is what it is. We got to discuss this today, y'all. We got to discuss this. I'm gonna give y'all my perspective about all of this, right? I know preferably the title of this live, we're going to be talking about President Biden, but we also going to talk about some other stuff too. We're going to be talking about President Trump, former President Trump. We're going to talk about this whole thing that happened at the Republican National Convention too, because I wanted to do a separate show there, but the hell with it. We're just going to talk about it all on this podcast. So sit back, relax, enjoy this thought-provoking yet entertaining content for real, y'all. Shout out to everybody who's in the building right now. Salute. And like always, I always do a shout out to everyone who shows up to the show on time and not on black people time. I'm just saying. So let me shout y'all out, and we're just going to jump into this show right now, all right? Showing up, it's in the building. What's up with it? We got a Brill in the building as well, too. What's up? Salute. We got El Cheapo watching from the bushes, but she's still in the building. What's up? Salute. Welcome. We also got Blue in the building as well, too. Welcome. And salute to each and every last one of y'all who are watching in the bushes and or you going to catch the replay of the stream. Appreciate you a whole lot. Appreciate you. Do me a real quick favor, y'all. And I promise it's something simple. I promise I'm not begging for no cash app or anything like that. I promise you. Do me a quick favor. If you have a thumbs up this live, by all means, thumbs up this live so you can support this channel. All right? Appreciate y'all a whole lot. right, well, without further ado, y'all, let's go on and jump into this content, all right? Because I believe, once again, this is something that we really do need to talk about because it affects all of us as Americans, all right? So, breaking news. President Biden has dropped out of the presidential race. Once again, President Biden has dropped out of the presidential race, all right? Race, okay? Now, I've been doing my research on this. I'm gonna show y'all the video of this as well too. But I've been doing my research on this. One of the main reasons why President Biden dropped out of the race is because of this. It's because President Biden has COVID. I just recently learned about this, that he been having COVID, I think, since he did his debate with Trump. I believe he been having COVID ever since then, and they've been treating him, and he been running on low battery source ever since then. Yeah, but it's funny how the media kept that information out, right? Where they didn't let us as the American citizen know that President Biden was dealing with this. You know what I'm saying? It was very interesting. But now, since he officially declared to be dropping out of this race, or has dropped out of the race, right? This is when they decide to share that this dude had COVID.
That's bullshit.
I'm telling y'all. Politics is something else for real. You know what I'm saying? Politics could be very grimy. Politics could be very dirty. Politics could be very deceitful as well too. And the people who are being affected by this is us, the American people. You know what I'm saying? So they literally set up here and hold out critical information from us. Like, hell, we don't even know what's happening with President Biden. We don't even know if this dude is even on his deathbed now.
That's bullshit.
Because they withhold the information from us. We don't even know if all this is one huge game for former President Trump to ultimately get into office and run for the presidency, or we don't even know if this game where the whole entire time they've been deceiving us as American citizens that they wanted Kamala to run for presidency.
That's bullshit.
But we don't know. We don't know. All we know is the information they give it to us. But today on this podcast, I'm gonna be sharing a lot with y'all for real. All right. So without further ado, man, we finna get ready to jump into this. Who that? I see you in the building. What's up with it? Appreciate you tuning in. Salute. Hey, El Chipo said that. She said we knew he had COVID a couple of days ago. Well, shit. I guess it's me who didn't knew he had COVID. Shit, I didn't know. Hold up, man. Hold up. So y'all mean to tell me, y'all mean to tell me that y'all knew the whole entire time that President Biden had COVID and y'all didn't tell me about it? I did a lot talking about former President Trump getting sniped by a bullet and y'all didn't tell me that he had COVID? Y'all.
That's bullshit.
See, I see how our relationship is, okay? I get it. I see how our relationship is. Y'all should have had, let me know this. Y'all should have emailed me. Y'all should have said, hey, Urban, breaking news. President Biden has COVID. And now y'all sitting up here, having me come up here thinking that this is some brand new information, and I done sitting up here to fumble the ball. Y'all wrong for this. Y'all are wrong. Y'all are wrong. Y'all are wrong for this. But I still love y'all, though. I still love y'all. All right. I still love y'all. Lord Jesus. Look at these comments. Oh, Lord Jesus, Lord. Showing up, sitting up here endorsing this too to my true El Cheapo. True bet to you. Showing up for not telling me. How about that? Shoot. I'll get you. Come in a minute, Blue. When he did a show up for his appearance on the campaign trail, that's when you knew you had COVID. So you was assuming he had COVID, or you knew that he had COVID and you just didn't tell me. And I didn't even keep up with this shit, and I knew. Where you been, Urban? It was blasted on the news. Hell, I don't know.
What?
I don't know. Like, what the hell? Boy, I tell y'all, y'all are something else. Damn. Cheapo talking about, I have to debunk it. Oh, man, boy, I tell you. Lionel, salute, welcome, bro. Welcome to the lounge. Yeah, Lionel, he said, I just saw the news too, bro. Don't feel bad about it. Don't feel bad. At least I don't feel bad about it. Blue, Urban, drop the ball. Damn. Y'all were wild as hell today. Damn. So you, okay. At least I'm happy that y'all telling me why I said this in my introduction. Versus me going through this whole long drawn out outline that President Biden had COVID. And y'all just let me talk and rant about it. Then at the very end, oh yeah, by the way, Urban, President Biden got COVID. Y'all wild as hell, but that's okay. I still forgive y'all and I still love y'all for real. No lie. No lie. All right, I promised Blue I was going to get back to her comment. Blue said this. So basically, we're going to get Trump again as president because Harris really have a chance. We're going to talk about that, Blue. We're going to talk about. I'm going to give you my actual perspective on that. Actually, I'm going to give y'all my actual prediction of what's going to happen in this presidential election, including who's going to be the next president-elect, for real. I'm going to tell y'all that for real. But first, let's go ahead and get into this content. Once again, appreciate everybody who's dropping in. I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up as you enter to the lounge. Gertrude, I see you in the building as well, too. Thank you. So let's get to this content, y'all. Once again, we found out that President Biden dropped out of the presidential race. So let's hear the official news source behind this, all right? So let's go.
Good afternoon. I'm Rachel Scott at ABC headquarters here in New York. We are coming on the air at this hour with breaking news. President Biden has just announced that he is ending his re-election bid. Just moments ago, the president tweeted out, "It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president. And while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and to focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision." There are still so many questions yet to be decided and so little time before those questions need to be figured out. So I want to go right away to our chief Washington correspondent, John Carl. John, we are just 100 days out from the November election. Pressure was...
All right, so real quick, before she goes to a correspondent, right? I do have the official letter that President Biden has posted on his Twitter account, okay? So we're going to read the official letter of what he's saying right now, all right? So here it is. Here's the letter right here. And I'm going to blow it up for y'all so y'all could see this as well too, right? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and blow this up for y'all so we can actually see the whole details of this, okay? All right, so according to the letter, it says this. My fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years, we have made great progress as a nation. Today, America has a strong economy in the world. We made historic investments in rebuilding our nation and lower prescription drug costs for seniors and expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We provided critically needed care to millions veterans exposed to toxic substances, passed the first gun safety law in 30 years, appointed first African American woman to the Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legislation in history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people. Together, we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We protected and preserved our democracy, and we revitalized and strengthened our alliances across the world, which, that, to be honest with you, that's neither here nor there on that one. It has been the greatest honor of my life to serve you as president. And while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude for all those who have worked so hard to see me reelected. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all of this work. Let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people for the faith and trust you have placed in me. I believe today what I always have, that there's nothing America can't do when we do it together. We just have to remember we are the United States of America. So, how do y'all feel about this letter? How do y'all feel about it? What thoughts are coming into your mind as I read this letter to you? Are you having thoughts of hope? Are you having thoughts of regret? Are you having thoughts of this is just some huge bullshit?
That's bullshit.
Well, let me know what y'all think about this, honestly. Because when I read this letter, right, when I read this letter, right, to me, the first half of this letter seemed like he was doing another, what they call that, addressing the state type of letter. You know what I'm saying? Where the president addressed the state. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? That's what it seemed like it was to me. But as you get down towards the end of it, that's when he finally announced that he's no longer running for presidency of the United States. So I'm very curious to see how this is going to play out, because also coming up next is the Democratic convention. Okay. So I wonder what's going to happen behind this. I wonder, do the Democrats or the left, do they automatically have someone who's going to be a new appointed running mate on behalf of President Biden? I'm also wondering, how are they going to do this? Because keep in mind, when they did they preliminary election, right? When I did that preliminary election, they had a whole bunch of Democrats there, and they was debating each other. Y'all remember that? Where it was almost like 5 or 6 months ago. They was debating with one another and stuff, right? They're one by one. Each and every last one of them dropped out of the race. Dropped out. Some of them dropped out of the race because of financial reasons. Others dropped out of the race because they honestly felt like President Biden would be the great choice to run for presidency. Y'all remember that, right? So I'm wondering how's that going to work out? Do they now have a new person who's going to fulfill that obligation to run for the presidency? How would that work? Do they have to vote again on this again, or are they just going to automatically elect someone to do this? There's rumors right now where they're saying that they're saying that Kamala Harris was going to be chosen to be the forerunner for this Democratic presidential race. Now, the one thing about it is that Kamala haven't officially accepted this yet. So I'm pretty sure what's going to happen, if this is the play, right, for the Democrats, I'm pretty sure that if there's something she's going to do, she's going to announce it at the Democratic convention. Okay. That's the one thing I could think of that's going to happen. Then even further so, I'm still wondering, how do all this work? You know what I'm saying? How did this work? Because look, I know that for us, the American people, I know we're not going to have nothing to do with this quote unquote re-election of somebody to represent the Democratic Party. We're not going to have nothing to do with this. To be honest with y'all, I'm going to be this real. To be really honest with y'all, we really have very minimal to do with the preliminary race with President Biden and also with President Biden and also with former President Trump, to be real. Because y'all know that in order for the president to be elected, it had to state representatives have to represent us on behalf, right? We have to go through this whole bullshit of the electoral college votes, right?
That's bullshit.
Just to get a president to be elected. Weird, but that is how it is with this country. You know what I'm saying? So, how y'all feel about this, man? I don't know. But let's continue, y'all.
Building on the president to step aside, now he is announcing that he has.
Rachel, it's an extraordinary moment in American history. This is the first time we have seen a sitting president bow out of re-election since Lyndon Baines Johnson in 1968. And it comes, unlike Johnson's move, which happened in January of that year, it comes after he has already gone through a primary process, after he has already effectively won the Democratic nomination, which now raises the huge questions, as you allude to, of what happens next. In his letter announcing this extraordinary decision, he mentions his vice president, Kamala Harris. He says, I want to thank my vice president, Kamala Harris, for being an extraordinary partner. But he makes no reference about what he will do in terms of an endorsement. Will he endorse?
Katie, salute if I didn't speak to you.
Process. What happens next? He says he will talk to the nation in the coming days more about his decision. But now the Democrats have to figure out what happens. Who replaces Joe Biden as the Democratic candidate for president?
And John, you've been reporting on this for weeks now. And just a few days ago, we were live at the Republican National Convention. You broke the news about the growing pressure on President Biden to step aside, even as high as Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer. You had top Democrats that really insisted that it was time for the president to go. What was behind this growing pressure, and how was the president receiving these calls?
And Rachel, this morning we reported that a large group of Democratic elected officials who have not yet come out publicly calling on Biden to step out were preparing to go public with their feeling that he needs to step out, get out of the race. This included, I am told, a significant group of U.S. senators who were making the case to Biden, making it through Schumer, in some cases making it directly. That if Biden stayed in the race, not only would he lose to Donald Trump, but he would hurt Senate candidates in competitive races. These senators did not want to publicly.
See, here's the thing about this, all right? They wanted President Biden to drop out of the race because they feared that he was going to lose to President Trump. The only reason why they're saying this is due to President Biden's performance during the debate. Okay? That's the only reason why they're saying this. I did a stream covering this whole debate. Y'all could go back on the channel. I did a live coverage of this. Okay? But that's one of the main reasons why they say that, all right? So throughout all the comical parts that I said about the presidential debate and everything, all the comical parts I said something about President Biden's performance about the debate. I'm going to be real with y'all. I'm going to be real. I still foresaw a high chance that President Biden was going to win the overall presidential election. Facts. That's how I felt. That's honestly how I felt. That's honestly how I felt. The reason why is because there are a lot of things that is happening with Trump that a lot of people do not like and a lot of people do not endorse at all, period. Okay? One of the things that Trump is doing, and it became a huge deal, is this whole thing about Project 25, if I'm not mistaken. That's what it is, right? Project 25. This whole situation with Project 25 having Trump like this for real. But I had took the opportunity to read about Project 25, right? Read about this whole entire thing. Overall, just to give y'all a whole synopsis of it, right? Project 25 is basically a what you call that? Memorial, whatever you call that shit. Damn, it was just in my mind a few moments ago. It's in other words, it's a person memoirs. Yeah, it's a person memoirs of how the way they assume that the country should be ran. Okay. So this person supports President Trump. This person supports the right dealers with how the way this country should be. They support that no person should have abortion rights. They support certain type of freedom of religion and all kind of stuff that is crazy. And the stuff that they had in this journal, a book or whatever, right? It really detailed all the way back to the Jim Crow era in slavery. To be honest with you, for us, what I read about it. Now, the thing about it is this. Trump never endorsed Project 25. He never agreed with this book. But however, there's an old saying, birds of a feather flock together, right? So therefore, right, since Trump is congregated with these people who wrote this book, right? And he's congregated with them, and these people are helping endorsing his political race. It draws questions for real about, is this really Trump's ideology of how the way he wants this country to be ran if he were to be elected as president? So it draws a lot of concerns, majority for the minority community. So that's the reason why I say that even through Biden's horrible performance during that debate, right? I still believe that he would have won the presidential race just solely on that alone. So I'm just saying. But let's continue. I'm gonna expound more in details on that and some other stuff as well too, especially with Kamala in a little bit.
Pressure.
Those y'all coming in, make sure you hit that like button as well. I see you, Barbie in the building. Salute, welcome.
Biden, they wanted him to make the decision for himself. But if he didn't make this decision soon, they were prepared to go public with their calls. So this is, at the root of all of this, is a concern that Biden had become so damaged following that debate some 3 weeks ago that he was going to lose to Donald Trump, which for Democrats is an extraordinary, would be an extraordinary failure. But more than that Republicans would win up and down the ballot. So you would have Donald Trump winning and potentially Republicans winning back the Senate and expanding their majority in the House. That's why you saw so much pressure. But the pressure was extraordinary. It was the Democratic leader in the House, Hakeem Jeffries. It was the Democratic leader in the Senate, Chuck Schumer, and it was perhaps the conscience of the party, maybe the most influential member of Congress who's not in leadership, Nancy Pelosi, all making the case privately, directly to Biden, that this was the only viable decision for him to make.
Jonathan, Karl, stay with us as we continue to following these breaking news developments. I want to go right now to our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce, who is joining us on the phone. Mary, 40 Democrats.
Real quick, ladies in the chat. I don't want to hear none of this bullshit what y'all about to get ready to say.
That's bullshit.
I don't want to hear it at all. I don't want to hear this bullshit talking about Urban. The only reason why you're sharing this breaking news is because this news anchor lady right here is pretty. That's why you sharing it. No. It was the first thing that came up on my feed and I decided to use it. All right. The only pretty woman that I know of in this whole entire world is Mrs. Urban. So don't y'all be hating in the chat. Separate talking about, Urban, you just trying to choose a pretty woman. You just being a man. You just being a man. No, leave me alone.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no, man.
Leave me alone. Shit.
As of today, we're calling on the president to step aside. You have made this point over and over again. This was the president's decision alone to make, Mary.
It absolutely was. And look, he was under tremendous pressure, and it is clear that pressure
George, salute.
was just too much for him to bear. We have seen over the
Xander, salute, welcome, brother.
That disastrous debate performance, a really remarkable evolution in this public really, hemming and hawing over whether or not he could stay in this race. The president initially adamant that this was just a one-off, just a bad night, that debate, and that he could convince the American people that he could still do this, that he was still up to the task of taking on Donald Trump and governing for another 4 years. He went out on the campaign trail hard. As you know, he was out there crisscrossing the country, doing those unscripted events that so many of his doubters were demanding. He did interviews. He did that big press conference. He did huge rallies trying to show his own party that he could still handle this. But it simply wasn't enough, and the pressure just continued to grow. It started off as that sort of trickle that became a steady stream as we saw more and more House members coming out. Then we, as you well know, we saw, the first senator coming out. Now we have several senators coming out, that number growing, but ultimately it was leadership, I think, that really likely tipped the scale here. The fact that you had Hakeem Jeffries, Chuck Schumer, the top Democrat in the House and the Senate, coming to him and explaining that if he stayed at the top of this ticket, he was going to drag down Democrats. And then, of course, Nancy Pelosi, the powerful former Speaker of the House, someone who does not do anything without great intention and purpose, making that argument as well. The president, we know, I keep thinking about this.
Damn, she's up here throwing a lot of shots for real. Like, God dang. I hear a lot of shade.
Rachel, he has been spending this weekend sick with COVID, trying to recover at home. But we also know that he has been taking that time to listen, to hear out these concerns, to look over the polling. This is a president who even, on the daily decisions that he has to make as president, wants all the information. We know this. He is a man who thinks through everything carefully. I can only imagine what this process has been like. He said that he would only drop out if he saw the polling showed that there was no way that he could be successful in this race. And clearly he has come to that recognition. He also
So hold up. So they had did a quick poll in a survey, right, to project if Biden was going to win this presidential race. So I'm assuming that by them doing this projection, right, that he determined like, yeah, I'm not going to win this at all. I am very far behind. But yeah. This is another reason why I tell y'all all the time about statistics, right? I tell y'all all the time about statistics that statistics doesn't necessarily mean that it's facts, okay? Our statistics are the surveys, okay? That's all it is. All it is. They just gather data from a certain type of control group and ask them to either say, yes, I agree with this, or no, I don't agree with it. You know what I'm saying? But they select a certain amount of group to do these type of surveys or statistics. This is the reason why on my channel, y'all rarely hear me use anything about statistics where we deal with relationship, because I know that the manosphere, red pill community, they are big on using numbers. 50% of women divorce, 80% of men doing this. You rarely hear me saying that because I know that surveys and statistics is not facts. All it is gathered through a control group to vote on a certain type of thing. but it doesn't represent the whole entire population of the said people who's part of the survey. Likewise, this particular survey that they're talking about right now with President Biden, where they did another one calculation to project to see if he's going to win this race, right? Let me ask y'all this question. Did any one of y'all participate in this alleged survey that they're talking about? Did y'all participate in it? Did y'all vote either yes, Biden is going to win, or no, he's not going to win? Did y'all vote that Trump is going to win, or no, he's not going to win? Did y'all participate in the survey? No, you didn't. I didn't participate in it. Hell, I didn't even know nothing about it. And I'm pretty sure that y'all didn't know nothing about it as well neither. So that's why I'm saying they only have a control set of people who participate in these said type of surveys. And they present it out there to you as it's alleged facts, but it's not. It is not facts at all. So the reason why I'm saying this is because this, just because they voted on this particular survey, right, projected that he's not going to win, that doesn't mean that it's factual that he's literally not going to win, unless we could want to go along with the whole conspiracy theory saying that votes never matter to begin with in the first place. So think about that. I never votes matter in the first place. What? If that's what it is, right? Right? So you mean to tell me the election is in 4 months. 4 months. And within 4 months, they already predicted that this dude is not going to win. 4 months. And they predicted that this dude is not going to win. I call bullshit.
That's bullshit.
I call it bullshit for what it is. Here's my perspective on this. All of this stuff that's happening, right? All of this is political game. To me. It's political game to me. The whole situation with former President Trump, with him getting sniped by a bullet, that's part of the game. This whole presidential debate, where it's first time in history that they literally did a debate on that type of caliber, where it was super entertaining. That is part of the game. All of this is a play. It's a part of the game. So they could get out of wherever it is that they're trying to get out of it. And guess who's going to be affected by it? Not them, but us as the American people. That's how the way I see it, honestly. We're going to be affected by us, the American people. Us. Because it's like, to be honest with y'all, it's like we don't have a dog in this fight at all, period. I know also that I endorse the fact that we need to come together and at least do our local elections and I said community right. But at the same time, right, and when we dealing with something on a higher caliber, like presidential elections and stuff, do our votes really matter? Do it matter if we sit up here, some of us, we're going to spend hours in a line. Some of us, we're going to spend hours going to the line. Some of us, we're going to have to take off of work for this. Some of us, we're going to have to sit up here and do all kind of other stuff as well, too, just to vote. And I'm just wondering, is all of this, is our vote really that powerful? Does it really matter? Then also, let's talk about even the electoral college bullshit that they established. If our votes really matter, right? Why in the hell do we have an electoral college? And this is only for the presidency, nothing else. But only for the presidency, we have an electoral college. Why does that matter when allegedly our vote's supposed to matter? They also have this thing, what is known as battleground states, okay? Those of y'all who are not familiar with how the way the political race runs, right? There are certain states in this country that are considered as battleground states, meaning that if you win the electoral college votes of this said state, you have a high probability chance that you're going to win the overall election. Facts. So they had all these different things established, right? But do it really make our votes matter? Like how the way it's supposed to, right? Do we really get the chance to participate in this democracy like they allegedly say that we do? Do we? Or is it all this game, y'all? And that's what I'm questioning. That's what I'm questioning. But let's continue, y'all.
Initially, sort of brushed off the fact that the leadership would ultimately come to him and say, this isn't going to work. And of course, we have, seen that is what happened. It is near impossible to run for president if you do not have your party united behind you. And this was likely a very, very difficult decision for Joe Biden. He has been in public service for more than 50 years, spent many decades trying to reach the White House. When he launched his second campaign, he argued it was because he had to finish the job. Even though when he first ran, he ran as a transitional candidate. He said he would be a bridge to the next generation. Then when he came out and announced he was running for a second term, it was because he felt he simply wasn't done yet. He needed more time to finish the job. That was the campaign slogan. Clearly now he has decided what he cannot beat is what none of us can beat, which is the inevitable march of time. And he is now going to be passing the torch to that next generation, Rachel.
And Mary, let me just ask you a follow-up here, because after that debate, the president was adamant that he was going to stay in the race. He was telling lawmakers, give me a week. Let me prove you wrong. Let me do some of these off-scripted events. Let me do a sit-down interview, including with our own George Stephanopoulos. And then it sort of turned into this listening tour where the president was sitting down. He was hearing from...
I did see that interview with George Stephanopoulos. That interview was some bullshit, for real. I ain't lying.
That's bullshit.
Democrats. For the American people that are watching this right now, they're going to be wondering what exactly tipped the scales for President Biden. Do we have any sense yet of how the president ultimately reached this decision?
Yeah, it's a very good question. Look, we don't have that full insight just yet into what exactly it was that tipped the scale, but we do know that he was asking for the polling. He was asking for the data. And I think when you look at the numbers, and especially when you have the leaders of the party coming to you and saying, if you stay at the top, it's going to hurt Democrats in the House and the Senate, that's a lot to overcome. Also, when it is clear that you have so many in your own party who are urging you to back out, that is very hard to put back in the box. And once voters know that so many in your party don't think this is the right move, don't think this is the right decision, it's really hard to get people united again behind you. You simply cannot do that. And, part of this is sort of, something that's bigger than numbers, something that is bigger than all the data and the polling. And that is the question about Joe Biden's legacy, which also is something that we heard from so many of those who were urging Joe Biden to drop out. He is beloved in this party. And I think so many, when we look at all of those statements, urging him to step aside and out of this race, they mentioned that. That was a steady sort of, through line through all of this, which is that they were grateful for the work that the president had done. They wanted his legacy to be intact. They wanted him, to go out with the same common cause and common purpose, which was that they want to beat Donald Trump. And they feel, though, that the best way to do that is for Joe Biden to exit the race.
Listen to her whole entire commentary on this, okay? They wanted Biden to go out as a legacy, right? As that he is like this alleged greatest president that ever ran for this country. But in reality, man, I call bullshit on that too.
That's bullshit.
I do. I'm share this with y'all as well too about this whole presidential thing, right? The overall job of any president, no matter if it's Biden, no matter if it's Trump, it could be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I don't care who the hell it is, right? The overall job of the president in this country is simply to be the image of the country. Period. That's what it is. That's what it is. The president don't have no type of veto power to change laws. He could recommend it. He could want to draft up certain type of laws and different things like that. If he feel fit to do that, right? He can negotiate certain type of policies as well too, right? All day long. He can. But at the end of the day, do he have power to change laws? No, he don't. Do we have power to say, hey, this is what it's going to be and it's going to be? No, because we are a democracy country. We're not a dictatorship country, period. So with that being said, all the president's job to do is to sit there and be the image of the country. That's it. Just sit there and wave, sit there and dress up in their little suits, sit there and talk to other leaders around the world when they go to their conventions and stuff. And that's it. That's it. That's it. The real power comes from the Congress, comes from the Senate. Then it goes all. Notice how I'm emphasizing all, right? All the way down to the American people. Now, notice this. Just like I said earlier, we're at the very bottom of the list, like all the way at the very bottom of the list of having some type of political power for this in this country. We are. To be quite honest with y'all, we shouldn't be, us as the American people, we shouldn't be at the very bottom of the totem pole. If anything, we should be at the very top of the voting poll for the simple fact that it is supposed to be us as the people who will determine and control the fate of our country. And by this, we'll elect certain type of people to do certain type of things or certain type of roles. That's how the way personally that I believe it should be. But is it like that in reality? No, it's not. It's not like that in reality. It's not. Now, they would say this though, and I learned this in political science. They'll say this. They'll say that your congressmen, your congresswomen, your senators, your judges, and different things like that, they would declare them as American people. In other words, they saying that they are the American people. They are the ones who votes. They are the ones who say that votes matters. Notice what I'm saying, and I want y'all to catch on to this. They are saying and declaring that they are the American people, not us, the citizens of the country, but them as American people. Notice how the way I'm using this wordplay. American people, citizens. American people, citizens. All these senators, congressmen, congresswomen, and all the people who are part of the House of Representatives and stuff, right? The judges, they are considered as the American people. We are the American citizens, okay? See, y'all think I'm lying about this. That's why wordplay is very, very vital, so you can understand why they say the stuff that they say. Hey, y'all notice that whenever they say anything to represent any type of voting, hey, y'all notice they always say the American people? Hey, y'all notice that? For the president, and all of them, in their little club, all of them. It don't matter what party they're a part of, right? All of them in their club say the same exact thing. The American people. The American people, the American people. But when it's like low level stuff, right, then that's when they say American citizens, American citizens, American citizen. That situation that happened when the Capitol was raided by people, right, was up here raided, right? Y'all remember that? And former President Trump had to go to trial because of that. Guess what wordplay they was using? Guess what wordplay they was using? And y'all could go back on this and watch it for yourself in real time. Guess what wordplay they was using? They didn't say the American people. They said American citizens had raided the Capitol. That's what they said. But however, when it comes to the conviction part, right, the sentencing part and stuff, right, they said the American people. So I'm trying to put y'all on game on all this stuff so y'all can understand this, you know what I'm saying? And how the way, in reality, our votes, to be honest with you, our votes really, really don't count, to be honest. I'm not encouraging y'all to not vote. All I'm doing is telling y'all the reality of this game, or what it is. Now, our votes as the American citizens, right? Our votes can matter if we wake up from this illusion that they put us in. If we wake up from this propaganda that they put us in. If we literally wake up and see the truth behind it and literally start taking our votes for real, then our votes will matter. It will. It will. I'm just saying. Yeah, that's true. President, that's a glorified figurehead. Facts. Xander, he said this. It's about time we, the people, have a woman president. Ooh, excuse me. We have a woman president. It's way overdue. This country has been led by men long enough. It's time we get the right person in office. Now, I'm going to, once again, Xander, I'm going to talk about this too. All right, I'm going to talk about Kamala Harris. I'm talking about the overall agenda behind this too. But we're going to dig a little bit into this a little bit more, and I'm going to reveal to you my perspective on that.
That he clearly now agrees with.
Yeah, we heard those calls even from Congressman Jamie Raskin, who was saying it's time for the pitcher to get off the mound, to hear the applause from the crowd in the stands. Mary Bruce, thank you. We're going to come back to you. I want to turn now to our political director and Washington Bureau Chief, Rick Klein. Rick, we hear Mary talking so much about the polling and about the president's team really showing him polling on whether or not he can win in this race. How much does that influence his decision, and what more have we learned about some of the polling that has come out just in the last few hours?
The polling just in the last few hours has been devastating for President Biden, not so much in the horse race, the head-to-head, because it's going to be a close election in a closely divided country. But the battleground state polling has been particularly bad. There's been new polling out of the state of Michigan in particular that's made the rounds. And beyond that, our new ABC Ipsos poll out just today had Donald Trump's approval rating up 9 points from a month ago and its highest rating in 4 years. It appears that he got a significant bounce out of his convention and after the assassination attempt last weekend. And that's part of the hill that Biden would have had to climb while he's losing the support of party leaders. Well,
and the only reason why Trump got that support is because of the assassination attempt, which once again, those of y'all who just see that live, go back and see that live about my commentary about that. Overall, I'm going to tell y'all this. Overall, that whole entire situation was a setup. It was a setup to try to endorse Trump to boost his popularity votes. That's ultimately what it was. I'm gonna be real with y'all too. This might sound like a conspiracy theory or whatever, right? But I'm gonna tell it like it is. I honestly believe that dude, that alleged dude who made that assassination attempt on Trump, I believe that dude is not even dead at all. I honestly believe that. I honestly believe that dude's not even dead. Because they never showed footage of them. They never showed footage of them literally shooting this dude. They never showed footage of carrying this dude out in a stretcher. The only footage that they showed was just allegedly the Secret Service stuff up on their roof after the fact. But there are so many videos that are circulated right now where it was people literally telling them that it was a dude up on the roof and them dudes did not do nothing.
That's bullshit.
They seen him scale up the wall of their roof with a rifle or a sniper rifle, whatever. Seen him do it and allow him to do that. It's even a report right now where they said that they had another one sniper that was over in the perimeter close to where Trump was at, right? The sniper seen the dude up there, right? He seen the dude scale up the wall. He seen the dude got positioned up to take the shot, and he kept radio in on the radio like, "Hey, I see this dude right here. Do y'all want me to take the shot or not? I see this dude right here. He's scaling up the wall. Y'all want me to take the shot?" But people kept telling him over and over again. His superiors kept telling him over and over again, allegedly, to not take that shot. To not take the shot. To not take the shot. And to ultimately, after when that dude took his shot, then that's when they ended up taking that shot, allegedly. But I believe that dude ain't even dead. I believe that dude ain't even there. I believe that they just randomly chose somebody to do this random type of act, all because of one huge game to endorse Trump, to show Trump as the savior. To show him as a savior. This dude Trump, right a moment after he got released out of the hospital, that's the fastest release out of a hospital that I've ever seen.
That's bullshit.
But after he got released out the hospital, that dude up in a golf course, chilling like ain't nothing, playing golf. And there are some photos circulated where he didn't even have his bandage on his ear or nothing like that, where he was playing golf. But he put that bandage on when he went to the Republican National Convention. So that's what I'm saying. All this some game, y'all. But
all the polls are flipped against him. He would have had to turn all of that around and more. That appears to have played a major piece of the equation into making that final decision for him as he recovered from COVID and as he coped with the massive defections inside his own party.
Rick, stay with us here. I want to go now to Selena Wang, who's in Rehoboth, Delaware, with the president. She's traveling with the president. Selena, this is coming, as Rick just mentioned, as the president's recovering from COVID-19. What more are you learning?
Yeah, this is an extraordinary turn of events. The president has been holed up here in Rehoboth, Delaware, isolating with time to reflect as he's been recovering from COVID, and his doctor saying today that his symptoms have improved significantly. But Rachel, I cannot underscore this turn of events. As late as last night, I was talking to my sources, these Biden aides who are close to the president, saying that the president was still angry and upset, that he felt betrayed by some of his closest allies who had turned against him, and that he was still digging his heels in. Now today on Sunday, as the president is still isolating, we're learning that he's withdrawing from the race, and a senior administration official telling us that the
here's another thing too, y'all, that I noticed about this, y'all. See, this is just part of me being a Sigma male, you know what I'm saying? Me and my analytical self, all right? I noticed that throughout this coverage, guess who they showing being the reporters representing? Guess. They are showing minorities representing this coverage. The first woman that was speaking, she was an African-American woman. And notice I said woman too. And when I say minority too, right? Women are considered as minorities, well, to not only race, but the minorities could also include gender. So we had an African-American woman, first of all, was speaking. And guess what? Look at this woman who's reporting also. This woman is either an Asian descent woman. Her name is Selena Wang. So once again, I'm just showing y'all could have whatever perspective that y'all want to have on it. I'm just throwing it out there, you know what I'm saying, for y'all. So y'all could see it for what it is. Y'all could see the play for what it is. So you could determine what you want to do with it. All right. I'm just saying.
The president's senior campaign team and senior White House team did not learn of this news until shortly before the president decided to make this public. Now, Rachel, as we've been discussing, this pressure has just been building and mounting on the president. Of course, it's not just the crumbling support from top Democratic leadership, but it's also the money. Money was drying up. I was speaking to donors just this morning who said there is no path forward. Donors are just not putting their money in, and you cannot have a campaign without the money.
Selena.
So now they set up her blaming that President Trump don't have enough money or endorsements to run for presidency. Do y'all believe that? Do y'all believe that that's the truth?
That's bullshit.
Do y'all honestly believe that? Now, we could allegedly, okay, I'll put it to you this way. I believe this is what happened in this conversation, okay? Since they want to talk about money and endorsements. I believe that his higher people, like old girl said it earlier, right? There was higher people, were higher levels, right? Was encouraging President Biden to drop out of this race. I believe that them people of this higher power, right, or you could call them the elite, wherever hell you want to, wherever hell suits your fancy, right? These people, right, they the ones who was endorsing the highest on his campaign. They the one who said, look, you embarrassed the hell out of us on that debate. You embarrassed us, so now we want you to pull out of the race. If you don't pull out of this race and you've decided that you're going to continue on this race, guess what? We're going to pull our endorsements from you. And since they up of a high elite status, right, not only they could pull their resources from them, they're going to encourage other people to do the same as that thing, to pull the resources from them. That's what really happened. Now, President Biden, he could, to be honest with you, he don't need endorsements to run. Just like with Trump. Trump really don't need endorsements to run because he got money. Both of them got money. They could run on their own behalf. They could run independent if they wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Because they got the money, resources to do it. And the popularity votes and everything to do it. But it's something about them elites. When them elites said, hell no, this is bullshit, homie.
That's bullshit.
It's a wrap. They got to listen to what the elites tell them. And that's what's happening.
Thank you. I want to go right back to our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce. And Mary, we are following these rapidly moving developments. First, we had the letter from the president of the United States saying that he was going to step aside in this race. Now we are seeing yet another post on social media from President Biden, because the big question after the president announced that he was going to step aside in this race was who exactly was going to step in. Mary Bruce, it seems like the president has an answer to that question on who he's endorsing here.
Rachel, the president, in a tweet just announcing that he is offering his full support and endorsement for Kamala Harris to be the nominee of the party. I want to read this full message from him. He says, "My fellow Democrats, I've decided not to accept the nomination to focus all my energies on my duties as president for the remainder of my term." He says, "My very first decision as the party nominee in 2020 was to pick Kamala Harris as my vice president, and it's been the best decision I've made." He says, "Today I want to offer my full support and endorsement for Kamala to be the nominee of our party this year. Democrats," he says, "it's time to come together and beat Trump. Let's do this." The president has always made clear, Rachel, that he believes that Kamala Harris has what it takes to be president. He wouldn't have chosen her to be vice president if he didn't. But we have seen sort of an interesting change in the way he's talked about Kamala Harris, even in the last 2 weeks. It was just 5 days ago, I think, he was out in Las Vegas doing a big event before the NAACP, and he took on Trump, especially in the way that Trump has been reaching out to black voters, and he took on the way that Trump had once used the phrase, black jobs, and the president made this quip, this joke, not joke, he was fired back at Trump saying, I know what a black job is. It is vice president. And he said, point blank, Kamala Harris could be president. And he said it in a way that made all of our ears go up and made everyone listen closely, because it is clear that he likely was thinking about what would happen if we got to this point where he had finally decided, Joe Biden decided, that he needed to step aside and step out of this race. And now he is throwing his full weight and support behind Kamala Harris. It sends.
Let's talk about this, y'all, because this is one of the critical points of this podcast. All right, so Joe Biden, he fully is going to endorse Kamala Harris. Now, keep in mind that a few moments ago, I just told y'all, did a whole entire rant telling y'all about how the way this endorsement thing works, right? I even told you at the very end that Joe Biden has money. He had money and resources, right? But it was the elites that wanted him to step down. So to continue on with that conversation, the elite said this, hey, Joe, we want Kamala to be the representative now. We're going to fully endorse Kamala. Okay. You can endorse us well too, or you can make your announcement saying that you're going to support her. He could have easily said that, hey, I'm going to support Kamala. Okay. Notice about this wordplay again. He could have easily said, I'm going to support her. I'm going to support her. But he used the language endorse. He used that language for a reason because that's what them hires told him to say. I mean, facts. This was happening. And so y'all see in real time this whole entire play that's happening. Now, this is the answer Xander's question. And this is the answer the rest of y'all question about Kamala Harris and how the way I feel about this, okay? I feel this. I feel that this whole entire thing was set up and staged solely for Kamala Harris to run for presidency anyway. That's how the way I feel about it. All of this has been in the works anyway. Anyway. It already been in the works. Here's another thing. I want to challenge y'all on this, okay? Why is it that throughout Kamala Harris' whole vice presidency, you rarely heard anything that she's doing unless it was certain type of issues that's going to trigger the emotions of the people. What I'm talking about, issues dealing with abortion right. That's when they put her up in the forerunner of that. Issues about women's rights. That's when they put her in the forerunner of that. Issues about the African American community. That's when they make her be the forerunner of that. That's when they meet her, push her out there on that. But every other thing, you rarely hear anything about her. You rarely hear her about her visits, go and visit other countries, which she have did that, but they don't push it. They don't push it at all. But all of that is for a reason. It was already designed from the beginning for Kamala to be the next president of the United States. That is how I honestly feel about it. And I'm going to put it to y'all this way too. In the beginning of this podcast, I told y'all that I honestly felt that Biden was going to win anyway. I felt that he's going to win, regardless of what Trump is doing and everything, regardless of what the right is doing and the far right is doing. I honestly felt that Biden was going to win for presidency. But I also felt this. I also felt that the moment after when Biden would have won for presidency, right, I felt that his health would have failed. His health would have failed, then I had automatically would have appointed Kamala to be president, to go ahead and slide her on in there. But however, due to the circumstances of Biden's health that is diminishing more and more and more as we sit in real time where this dude literally is president. This dude is literally having Alzheimer's and all kind of stuff happening with him right now in the real time. Due to his diminishing health, they already set this up to play that Kamala was going to be president. But they had to pivot and do it in another direction. Because the reason why they're doing it this way is because there are a lot of policies, there are a lot of laws that set in place that prohibits women from being presidency unless it be a certain type of situation that happens. Do y'all know that? Do y'all know that? This is the reason why the left has been pushing hard to change a lot of policies up in the Capitol. This is the reason why they've been pushing hard to change policies dealing with women's rights and different things like that. This is the reason why they've been pushing hard on feminism issues as well too. They also have people out there and stuff, right? They have people out there, once again, they have people out there on social media outlets pushing the message out about the patriarchal system in relationships and about the feminism or the modern day behavior of relationships with women. All of this is by design, y'all, and I'm trying to tell y'all that. So now they have created this alleged gender war, right? Alleged gender war, where the red pill community is going against, the feminism and the pill community, whatever, right? Going back and forth and all stuff there. And this is the reason why your boy Urban been talking about this, been talking about relationships differently from these old simp beta male dudes.
Beta.
because I see the play in it. Because I research stuff. I look at stuff from as a whole. I don't pick sides. I stay right there in between in the gray area to see both perspectives and see how things has been played out in real time. They planted these people out there in these spaces on YouTube, on Twitter, on TikTok, and all these other social media outlets, right? They planted these people out here purposely to create this message of gender war and all this stuff there to set up this stage for what's getting ready to happen in real time. In real time, what's going to happen is that ultimately they want Kamala to win this presidential election so she could be the first woman, not only the first woman, but she could also be the first alleged black woman to win the presidency of this country. That's the overall play of what they're doing. That's the overall goal of what they're doing. But just like I say, I'm putting y'all onto this. I'm just giving y'all this perspective because I just want y'all to think about this. Y'all don't have to agree with me on this or whatever. And I know the stuff that I'm saying, it probably sound far-fetched. It probably, even sound conspiracy-ish or whatever. It's fine. But this is my opinion. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't agree with it, it's cool. It's cool. We still could come over here and chill and do our thing. But I'm telling y'all, this is what's happening right now in real time with Kamala. If Kamala chooses to run for presidency, which I believe that more than likely she already did, right? If she chooses, she's ultimately going to win. And then there are going to be some stuff that's going to happen in this country that is going to be unprecedented. Y'all think this country is fucked up right now, right? With Biden in office. Wait to see the hell with Kamala getting that mud. Because that mud is going to be crazy as hell.
That's bullshit.
It is. But let's continue. I'm going to give y'all some more details about Kamala in a little bit and some stuff that she's doing.
The huge message, especially to this party about where we are going now, especially with such little time left in this race.
Yes, and Mary, it's not just what the president has been saying, it's also what Vice President Kamala Harris has been doing. We saw her in the days after that event really start to concentrate on rallying black voters. We know they are the bedrock of the Democratic base. What have you seen in the days following that debate, as well as the vice president really trying to concentrate in on the core of the Democratic base?
Rachel, she has been out there working the trail hard. She has been crisscrossing this country, and she has been, especially as you noted, really trying to rally those key constituencies where so much of this election is going to come down to. The Biden-Harris ticket has been very well aware that, especially among black voters, especially young black men, they are seeing signs in the polls that support is slipping. She has been out there, trying to get their message across to the voters who will really decide this race in November. But this entire time, Rachel.
And notice the reporting behind this too. Notice how the way they shifted. Okay. Notice how the way they shifted it. At first, that was using language talking about the American people. Then they kind of shifted talking about American citizens. And now guess what? Guess how the way they shifted it now. Now they're targeting an actual minority group.
That's bullshit.
Now they talking about black people. See, all of this is a play, y'all. I'm telling y'all.
She has been a very loyal soldier. She has been adamant that they were still in this to win it. She has shown zero daylight between her and the president, as the president has been, clearly taking all of this in and trying to make this decision. Vice President Harris now catapulted to the top of the ticket. It is a remarkable, historic turn of events in the political history of this country.
Historic turn of events coming just about 100 days before the November election. If you're just joining us right now, President Biden has announced that he is stepping aside as the Democratic nominee with just over 100 days to go until the election. The president also just a short time ago endorsed his vice president, Kamala Harris. I want to bring in now former North Dakota Senator Heidi Heitkamp. Senator Heitkamp, I want to ask you this question because the president's stepping aside. We saw this growing amount of Democrats coming out and calling on him to make this decision. Now we have the president endorsing his own vice president, Kamala Harris, in this race. The big question now.
Hey, y'all, real quick. Never trust a red-haired woman, period. I'm just saying.
That's bullshit.
Are Democrats going to rally behind her?
I think Democrats are going to rally behind the president if he decided to stay in this race because the stakes are so high. Democrats are going to rally around whoever is the nominee. Remains to be seen what the DNC does. Obviously, the DNC in any incumbent president situation is controlled by the president, and so we'll have to see what the decision will be on terms of how they finish or how they replace the president at the top of the ticket. But clearly, naming Kamala Harris with his endorsement is a huge boost for her, even if it would be contested. I think she would make it through a contested convention. These are Biden delegates who are going to listen to Biden. And so, you know, as I've said, I think that an open process is the best process for the Democratic Party, but it's not up to me to make that decision. And I think even if you had that, if you had a competition coming out of that competition, not a coronation would be really good for the vice president as she carries the banner forward at the top of the ticket.
Senator Heitkamp, this is a major curveball for the Democratic Party with just months to go into the election. How consequential is this? And we know the president was also under so much pressure to make this decision and to make it quickly because of that timing.
Well, I think, you know, obviously this is unprecedented, this close to a primary. However, it's energizing. And I think people have been afraid of kind of chaos or disruption. But I think when you look at it and you have a chance to put someone like Kamala Harris right next to the former president, the choice couldn't be more stark. Now, she's going to have to, if she's the party nominee, make the case for why she should be given 4 years. But it totally changes the tenor and the kind of look of this election. Having someone younger, I think, will be incredibly important to energizing youth vote, energizing traditional Democratic interest groups that are in that column. And I think this is, I mean, as much as I love President Biden, I think.
Well, whenever they use the wordplay interest group, they're talking about the minority. Okay.
This is a good day for the Democratic Party.
You call it a good day for the Democratic Party. One more question to you, Senator Heitkamp. We heard the president saying that he was firm in this decision, and this decision was his alone to make at this point. You've been in politics for a while. You know President Biden well. What do you think went behind this decision that ultimately got him to this point?
I think he said all along that if, you know, he believed there was a path forward for him to win. I think that the assassination attempt, and as you heard Rick talk about the bounce that the former president is getting out of this campaign or out of their convention, I think it seemed clear to this president, President Biden, that it was very, very difficult to see a path forward. And he has great friends down ballot, whether it's Sherrod Brown or Bob Casey. And he didn't want to be the person who would in any way stand in their way of getting reelected. And so I think this is a sacrifice that he is making for his former colleagues in the Senate. I think it's a sacrifice he's making for the country. He has served this country so ably and for so long.
Now they're sitting up here using the wordplay of sacrifice. This dude is not sacrificing anything. The reason why is because all of this is a play. They already had this set, okay? They already had this set up for it to happen the way it is happening now.
It can't have been easy, but I think for him and for the party, it's the right decision.
Senator Heitkamp, stay with us. I want to go back to our chief Washington correspondent, John Carl. And John, on the Sunday shows, on the cables this morning, we heard from a number of Republicans who were saying that they would challenge in court the change of a Democratic nominee. What more are you learning about that?
Well, you have two things that you're going to have now in terms of blowback from the Republicans. First, the Republicans, I mean, and you heard this even at the Republican convention. You heard this from Chris LaCivita, who obviously is helping to run the Trump campaign, saying that this would be anti-democratic. This would be in defiance of
of democracy. The idea he's won the primary, he's won 14 million votes, and now the Democrats are going to, if they try to switch him out, we will challenge that. Those voters had a right. So, whether those legal challenges will succeed, highly uncertain. But
now once again, listen to what they're saying. They're talking about that the 14 million, he won 14 million votes and stuff, right? And now the 14 million voters is going to challenge them, right? Once again, they're not talking about us as the citizen. They're not talking about us as citizens. They're talking about as the people, which is the Senate and all these higher ups that are up there. That's what they're talking about. So they have the power to argue against that, not us. They're not going to send us back out in the polls again and do this process all over again because they know we ain't going to do it. They're not going to do that. Or if they end up doing a revote again and stuff, right, they're by all right. So if the Democrats could do a revote again, then guess what? The Republicans, they're going to say, hey, we can do a revote also as well too. Why we can't do it, but y'all can? And so they're not going to risk doing it all over again, okay? Because votes could swing. It could swing either way. One person, how the way people alleged voted 5 or 6 months ago probably changed for how the way they feel right now. You know what I'm saying? And they know that. You probably voted for Biden about 4 or 5 months ago because you really believe in what this dude was saying, right? And Biden was like a little bit more stable 5 or 6 months ago versus right now. And so now you have a totally different perspective about it. Like, then they talk about, Kamala. So they may not even vote for Kamala at all, period. So they want to say they're not talking about us as the citizen votes. They're talking about the higher us votes, the people. That's what they're talking about. That's what they're talking about. So like I say, to be honest with y'all, we really don't have no dog in this particular fight at all.
They will go and they will try to do this in state after state to try to keep the new Democratic nominee, whether it's Kamala Harris or whoever it is, off the ballot, saying that it was Joe Biden's name that should be on the ballot because it was Joe Biden that won those primaries. But the other thing you're going to see happening, and you're already seeing happening, is Republicans are going to come out and they're going to say, Joe Biden is saying that he is unable to campaign, to go forward with a presidential campaign. How can he go forward with being president of the United States? And you are seeing the demands already from Republicans that he resign as president, because how can
that's actually a really good argument right there. If he's not able to go on the campaign trail to reelect himself as the president of the United States, how in the hell is he competent enough to stay currently running as president of the United States? I got an answer to that question. The answer to that question is that the president don't do no damn thing anyway, so it don't even matter. It don't matter. All the president is just the face of the country, so they don't even matter. So President Biden, he could be on COVID and speak. Hell, how the way we got technology these days, right? Sure, they could have President Biden in the office in this house or wherever he at for the remainder of the election year and allow AI to do the representation of President Biden. Facts. They can have AI have a deep fake of President Biden standing up there doing the whole entire speech live and well and everything. That dude at the home dying. You know what I'm saying? So how weird is going on right now? I'm just saying, it shit crazy as hell. Lord, let's continue.
Can you continue as the commander-in-chief if you are, this is the argument, how can you continue as commander-in-chief if you can't continue as a candidate? Now, Biden has made
I'll look him up
in his letter announcing he wasn't going to be running again, that he fully intends to complete his term and concentrate on all the work that he has to do as president. He's simply getting out as the candidate, but this is going to be something that is absolutely going to be used by Republicans. And by the way, I'll add one other, Rachel, and you've heard this as well. If Kamala Harris is the nominee, and with Biden's endorsement, it sure seems like she will be the nominee for president. You will hear the argument that is made. Well, why didn't you tell us how much the president had declined? They will portray her as part of essentially a cover-up of the president's declining mental acuity and how age had taken its toll. So we've entered an entirely new phase of this campaign. I would say it feels like an entirely new phase of American politics. It's a whole new game, and things are going to be happening very quickly over the next few days.
Yeah, they have to happen very quickly because there's just only so much time until the election. The nation was preparing for this rematch between President Biden and former President Donald Trump. We're now learning today that is not going to happen. John Carl, stay with us. We will come back to you. I want to go now to ABC's Martha Raddatz. Martha, you've been working the phone.
But before we get to Martha, I want y'all to consider this too, because I know y'all putting on Gretchen in the chat as well too. I want y'all to consider this too. The whole overall agenda is not to vote for who's going to be best suited as to be the representative of this country for president of the United States, right? Y'all do understand that, right? Let me rephrase it. The overall agenda with the left or the Democrats, right, is not for who's going to be best suited to be the representative of this country or the president of the United States. Their whole agenda, their whole focus now is this. It's to simply beat Donald Trump. It's not nothing per se political even more. It's more so of you watching a heavyweight fight between Tyson and Holyfield, and even though both competitors are, in their prime, they could do what they want to do, different things like that. But at the end of the day, you want to see that person beat the hell up out of the other person. And so I'm giving y'all an analogy is because that's how the left or the Democrats is looking into the situation with Trump. They're not looking at it just as another dude that's running for office or who's going to be best suited for this country anymore. They just looking to win, period. This thing here, it should alarm you as being a citizens of this country for real. How the way they're playing us. How the way they are now formulating this alleged heavyweight fight. May the best man win. Y'all should be concerned about that for real. Because for the simple fact that this is dealing with all of our livelihoods for real. It's dealing with all our livelihoods. It's dealing with what we're going to have to deal with or endure for the next 4 years. It's going to be not only what we have to endure for the next 4 years, but this also sets the stage of our generations as well too, what they're going to have to endure in the future as well too. And so you should be thinking about that. Instead of just having this mindset of, I hate Trump, I hate Biden, this type of crazy mindset, it should be, what would be the overall end goal behind this? Who would be the best representative of our country where we could do things, we could move forward, all of us could live in peace and prosperity and happiness, where many of us who are considered as middle class and poor class people, right, where we don't no longer have to work 2 jobs that's to pay for our mortgage and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You should be thinking about stuff like that, because obviously these people here are on this higher up level. They're not thinking about that. This is one here's game to them, and that should be very concerning to you. That should be very concerning to you as a citizen of this country. It is to me. It absolutely is to me. But this game is crazy, y'all. I don't know. It's crazy.
phones. You've been on the phones with senior administration officials. What more are you learning about how the president came to this decision?
Rachel, I am told by a senior administration official that the last couple of days had really taken a toll on President Biden. They said he feels less and less energy, that he still does not feel.
You know what, Blue? And this will bring me to my other point about this too. I kind of mentioned this before, but I'm gonna say it again. All right. Now, once again, this is just me, and this is just based on my anecdotal experience. Okay. I don't want to offend women when I say this. Okay, but this is my truth. All right. I honestly believe from the bottom of my heart that a woman is incapable of leading, period. Once again, I honestly believe that women are incapable of leading, period. Let alone to be a representative of a whole entire nation. I don't. The reason why I say this is just through my anecdotal experience, and also me just seeing how things happening and stuff, like even in the political spaces, right? I honestly believe that a lot of women out there, may not be all of them, but a lot of women out there, they don't lead with overall emotional intelligence like how the way they should do, right? A lot of them lead with more how the way they feeling in their moment. The reason why I'm saying this is because of this. You could look at right now what was happening at the House of Representatives right now. Those of y'all who been like looking at YouTube videos about what was happening at the simple house, just the house itself. The House of Representatives, with all these people who are over ion said states, right? You sit up here and watch videos on YouTube and you see these women sitting up here arguing back and forth, acting all ratchet as hell. Acting ghetto, acting ratchet as hell, arguing back and forth about issues and stuff, right? And I ain't even getting nothing done. To be quite honest with you, the House of Representatives have been the worst with overall decision making in years. Because you got all these women up here there, sitting up here talking about how sassy each other is, right? They so more concerned about putting out TikTok videos of them sassing each other out instead of focusing in on the issues at hand with the country. That's the reason why I say that's one of the main reasons why I say all the time that I honestly believe that a woman should not be in leadership, because some of these women, they be just in their feelings for real, and it affects us. It do. Some of these women as well too, they been traumatized and hurt by men. I admit it. The men out there that have traumatized and hurt them. The men out there that been so MPD narcissists, right? What they done screwed up these women's mind and stuff, right? And now they have this feminism ideology, and they out there in your out there representing you as House of Representatives arguing. Just imagine that. Now, I have no idea how the way Kamala mind is, right? Because she try to keep low key as much as possible, right? But if she's going out there supporting these same type of women that I'm talking about right now, that's in the House of Representatives, acting out ghetto and shit and stuff, right? She's endorsing that, right? And on top of that, she's out there endorsing LGBTQ rights as well too, where their rights set up her impeding on cis community rights too. If she's out there endorsing Black American rights, making it seem like Black American is the dominant group out there and stuff, right? You know what I'm saying? And doing all these other things, right? What make you think that when she become president, she's not going to continue with the same type of behavior? Where she's up here going to try to write out or draft out a law and stuff, right? Get mad because they vote against it. It act all ratchet and ghetto. Get on Twitter and stuff like that. Act all ratchet and ghetto and stuff because she can't get her way. That's some bullshit.
That's bullshit.
I'm just saying. But that's one of the main reasons why I say women cannot lead, period. You know what I'm saying? Even right now, that's as much as I enjoy the career that I do and stuff, right? There are women in leadership, and I'll be looking at them crazy as hell. So I like be sitting up here have to deal with their mood for tomorrow. They sit up here and got into an argument with their significant other, right? Bring that shit to work, and you have to deal with this all day long. God damn. Well, they just being complete assholes all day long. I didn't have nothing to do with you and your significant other arguing or whatever. Y'all disagree on Taco Bell. It don't have nothing to do with me. So why am I suffering about that? Just imagine that, right? Imagine that. Getting upset off of something personal and taking it to the office. Imagine Kamala doing the same exact thing, getting so upset and pissed off because something that happened, right? And she take that to the office and act ghetto as hell. The next thing you know, this old crazy ass woman cussing out every international president and stuff, right? Because she's up in her feelings. And next thing you know, we in World War III all because of her damn mouth.
That's bullshit.
That's the reason why I say what I say, for real. Now there are also men who are in these political space too that I believe that they shouldn't be in the office neither. That's facts. Cause them dudes be acting just as emotional as these crazy ass women.
Beta.
They do. I'm just saying. But let's continue. I'm gonna continue a little bit more of this. I'm gonna continue a little bit more of this, right? That we're gonna segue into what Trump was talking about at the Republican National Convention, y'all. Those of y'all who enjoying this content, I hope y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. If you ever share me, y'all share me out as well too. All right. So let's continue.
That he has intellectually diminished, but is much more tired, and came to the conclusion the campaign that he would have to run would tax him enormously. I am told he told Kamala Harris.
Now, that is a great question, Blue. The answer to that question is, hell yeah, I feel the same exact way. I would tell her in her face, like, hell no. No, ma'am. Nope, don't do it. No, ma'am. So, yeah, it don't matter if it's Mrs. Urban. It don't matter if it's my own damn daughter. Nope. Nope. Not at all.
Harris just before making that announcement, and that in spite of the fact he endorsed Kamala Harris, there were people around him thinking that Kamala Harris would be stronger coming out of kind of a mini convention. But they believe this now will help with enthusiasm in the party, put the news back on the Democrats instead of Joe Biden's health. Of course, I interviewed this morning on This Week Joe Manchin, the senator from West Virginia. He is now an independent, but caucuses with the Democrats. I put that very question to him because he said it's time to pass the torch right off the bat in the program, saying that he thought President Biden should drop out. But I did ask him if he had seen a personal mental decline. He said, I think he still has the ability. I said, but you don't want him to be the candidate, but you think he's fine being president. And he said, I think basically he can finish this job that he started and finish the way he wants to lead. So he felt strongly that the president should continue in office, but still felt he had declined enough that he should not run for president again.
Martha, you mentioned that you were on This Week just hours ago with Senator Joe Manchin, an independent, a former Democrat. He called on the president to step aside, one of 40 Democratic lawmakers that have since called on President Biden to step aside, calls that he's obviously heeding now. Did you get the sense from any of the Democrats that you have been talking to that they want to see Vice President Kamala Harris step into this position, or are we going to start to see more friction in the Democratic Party?
I think you'll see some friction, but on the other hand, this is a party that wants to unite, and at the same time, as the senior official said to me, have enthusiasm in any sort of way they possibly can. So I think they'll still, I mean, this isn't decided, this just happened. I think the timing surprised people that it came so quickly. I think most people thought they wanted him back on the trail, and then maybe he decides, or at least come out of the COVID isolation.
Martha, thank you. I want to move now to ABC's editorial producer, John Santucci. John, on the other end of this, you have former President Donald Trump's campaign. The former president is just after surviving this attempted assassination on his husband back out on the campaign trail.
All right, so I'm going to want to stop it right here because I do want to segue into this final talker point for this podcast. All right. Well, once again, appreciate everybody tuning in to the stream. Hold on, I'm doing this real quick. Appreciate everybody tuning in to the stream. Today we're talking about when President Biden has literally said that he's dropping out of the presidential race, and he also said that he wants to endorse Kamala Harris as the new running person to run for president of the United States. All right. So I've been giving y'all my commentary about this, how the way I felt about all this. Right. We're going to get ready to segue into Donald Trump's speech there, right? I don't want to get his full speech. I just want to get like sort of clips of what he said, right? And I also want to share with y'all what Hulk Hogan said, and different things like that. So we're gonna jump into that commentary in a few minutes. All right, but first, let me go ahead and share this with y'all once again. Those of y'all who didn't catch it earlier, this is the official letter that President Biden had sent out on Twitter about him no longer running into this race. All right, so here it is. All right, so once again, here's the letter. He said, "My fellow Americans, over the past 3.5 years, I have made great progress as a nation. Today, America has the strongest economy in the world. We made historical investments in rebuilding our nation and lowering prescription drug costs for seniors and in expanding affordable health care to a record number of Americans. We provided critically needed care to millions of veterans exposed to toxic substance, passed the first gun safety laws in 30 years, appointed the first African-American woman to the Supreme Court, and passed the most significant climate legislation in history of the world. America has never been better positioned to lead than we are today. I know none of this could have been done without you, the American people." Notice what I say this, the American people. I want to point that out to y'all again. "Together, we overcame a once-in-a-century pandemic and the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. We're protecting and preserving our democracy, and we're revitalizing and strengthening our alliances around the world. It has been my greatest honor of my life to serve you as president. And while it has been my intentions to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term." Notice the play of words with this again. Best interest for who? My party and the country. Now, majority of y'all who want to see President Biden be reelected, you didn't decide on this decision. Y'all wasn't going and saying that y'all wasn't going back and saying that y'all wanted President Biden to resign. Y'all was laughing at him and stuff, right, about his condition, but you never said that you didn't want him to resign for presidency because majority of y'all hate Trump. Am I lying? So who the one who made this decision? That was the reason why I went through that whole rant telling y'all that we not making this decision. We don't have a dog in this fight, period. Okay? Now, finally, it said this. "I will speak to the nation later," as the word capitalized nation. "I will speak to the nation later this week in more detail about my decision. For now, let me express my deepest gratitude to all those who have worked so hard to see me reelected. I want to thank Vice President Kamala Harris for being an extraordinary partner in all this work. Let me express my heartfelt appreciation to the American people and for the faith and trust you have placed in me. I believe today what I always have, that there is nothing America can't do when we do it together. We just have to remember we are the United States of America. So let me ask y'all this too. If we are indeed the United States of America, right? If we are indeed allegedly the people, right? If he's talking about all of us as a whole, right? Why does political parties matter? Or I'll put it to you this way. Why in the hell do we need political parties? Why do we need the left or the Republicans? The left or the Democrats. Why do we need the right, which is the Republicans? Why we need that? Why we need that? When we overall are the American people. We are the American people. We don't need none of that. All we need to do is elect someone who's going to represent us, period. It don't matter about the party or anything like that. But the reason why I'm bringing that up is because, once again, it's an agenda behind that, y'all. That's what I'm trying to let y'all know. There's a huge agenda behind that, for real. So let me go ahead and Trump. Let's see. Trump speaks on assassination attempt. All right. So let me go ahead and segue this, and I'm gonna let y'all hear this clip of Trump speaking about his assassination attempt at the at the convention.
Let me begin this evening by expressing my gratitude to the American people for your outpouring of love and support following the assassination attempt at my rally on Saturday. As you already know, the assassin's bullet came within a quarter of an inch of taking my life. So many people have asked me, what happened? Tell us what happened, please. And therefore, I will tell you exactly what happened, and you'll never hear it from me a second time because it's actually too painful to tell. It was a warm, beautiful day in the early evening in Butler Township in the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Music was loudly playing, and the campaign was doing really well. I went to the stage, and the crowd was cheering wildly. Everybody was happy. I began speaking very strongly, powerfully, and happily, because I was discussing.
Hey, Trump loved using all these adjectives like, God dang, bro. God dang.
The great job.
Constance, I see you in the chat. Salute, salute, salute.
My administration did on immigration at the southern border. We were very proud of it. Behind me and to the right was a large screen that was displaying a chart of border crossings under my leadership. The numbers were absolutely amazing. In order to see the chart, I started to, like this.
Blue, don't be mean to Trump. You know what I'm saying? You know you love President Trump, so stop doing that to him. Leave him alone. You love you some Trump, Blue. I don't know why you so stunning like that.
Turned to my right and was ready to begin a little bit further turn, which I'm very lucky I didn't do, when I heard a loud whizzing sound and felt something hit me really, really hard.
Wait a minute, not them sit up here and show the whole projection of the bullet. What the hell? What the hell? How did they get that?
That's bullshit.
Yeah, this little circle right here, that's the actual bullet. They is wailing like ain't nothing.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no.
God dang. Who would think to do something like that?
On my right ear, I said to myself, wow, what was that? It can only be a bullet. And moved my right hand to my ear, brought it down. My hand was covered with blood, just absolutely blood all over the place. I immediately knew it was very serious, that we were under attack, and in one movement proceeded to...
This dude said that he knew that we was under attack. He said we. Bro, nobody out there was under attack, because if that was the case, it would have been a calculated attack, and that would be to snipe everybody out there. That would be considered as a terrorist attack. That would be considered as a we. No, you was under attack.
to drop to the ground. Bullets were continuing to fly as very brave Secret Service agents rushed to the stage, and they really did. They rushed to the stage. These are great people at great risk, I will tell you, and pounced on top of me so that I would be protected. There was blood pouring everywhere, and yet, in a certain way, I felt very safe because I had God on my side. I felt that.
Bro, why is they crying about this? Like, oh my God.
Oh my God, bro. Oh, hell no.
They over here crying, and damn, she got a really, really good nose job. Like, God dang.
What?
Dang. All right.
The amazing thing is that prior to the shot, if I had not moved my head at that very last instant, the assassin's bullet would have perfectly hit its mark.
Scorpio.
And I would not be here tonight. We would not be together. The most incredible aspect of what...
Bro, why is they crying? What the hell?
That's bullshit.
Why they crying? I don't understand this. Like, oh my...
God damn.
Man. People. Lord.
That's bullshit.
Straight tears and everything, man. She got to be a paid actor. We're just gonna call her a paid actor, okay? She's just a paid actor, all right? That's what we're gonna call it, all right?
What took place on that terrible evening in the fading sun was actually seen later. In almost all cases, as you probably know, and when even a single bullet is fired, just a single bullet, and we had many bullets that were being fired, crowds run for the exits or stampede, but not in this case. It's very unusual. This massive crowd of tens of thousands of people stood by and didn't move an inch. In fact, many of them bravely but automatically stood up looking for where the sniper would be. They knew immediately it was a sniper, and then began pointing at him. You can see that if you look at the group behind me. That was just a small group compared to what was in front. Nobody ran, and by not stampeding, many lives were...
Oh, Lord Jesus. This dude talking about people was pointing after the fact. Now, according to the reports, according to what we see, that was pointed before the fact, bro. This dude, Trump over here lying like ain't nothing now. Lord Jesus.
You're a lying sack of crap. You're a lying sack of crap. You're a lying, scheming, stinking, nasty sack of liquid crap.
Oh, Lord.
Saved. But that isn't the reason that they didn't move. The reason is that they knew I was in very serious trouble. They saw it. They saw me go down. They saw the blood and thought, actually most did, that I was dead. They knew it was a shot to the head. They saw the blood. And there's an interesting statistic. The ears are the bloodiest part. If something happens with the ears, they bleed more than any other part of the body. For whatever reason, the doctors told me that. I said, why is there so much blood? He said, it's the ears. They bleed more. So we learned something, but they just...
This fool said that the doctor told him the ear bleeds more than any other part of the body.
They just, this beautiful crowd, they didn't want to leave me. They knew I was in trouble. They didn't want to leave me. And you can see that love written all over their faces. Incredible people. They're incredible people. Bullets were flying over us, yet I felt serene. But now the Secret Service agents were putting themselves in peril. They were in very dangerous territory. Bullets were flying right over them, missing them by a very small amount of inches. And then it all stopped. Our Secret Service sniper, from a much greater distance and with only one bullet used, took the assassin's life, took him out. I'm not supposed to be here tonight. Not supposed to be here. Yeah. Thank you. But I'm not. And I'll tell you, I stand before you in this arena only by the grace of Almighty God.
Hey, to be honest with y'all, this is the most I ever heard Trump use God in the sentence. That is facts. And all his other political campaigns, he rarely used God. The one time he'll use God is when he's closing out his speech. But he fixing to milk the hell out of this for real.
In watching the reports over the last few days, many people say it was a providential moment. Probably was. When I rose surrounded by Secret Service, the crowd was confused because they thought I was dead, and there was great, great sorrow. I could see that on their faces as I looked out. They didn't know I was looking out. They thought it was over, but I could see it. I wanted to do something to let them know I was okay. I raised my right arm, looked at the thousands and thousands of people that were breathlessly waiting, and started shouting, "Fight, fight, fight." Thank you. Once my clenched fist went up, and it was high into the air. You've all seen that. The crowd realized I was okay and roared with pride for our country like no crowd I have ever heard before. Never heard anything like it. For the rest of my life, I will be grateful for the love shown by that giant audience of patriots. that stood bravely on that fateful evening in Pennsylvania. Tragically, the shooter claimed the life of one of our fellow Americans, Corey, comparator, unbelievable person, everybody tells me. Unbelievable. And seriously wounded, two other great warriors, spoke to them today, David Dutch and James Copenhaver, two great people. I also spoke to all three families of these tremendous people. Our love and prayers are with them and always will be. We're never going to forget them. They came for a great rally. They were serious Trumpsters, I want to tell you. They were serious Trumpsters and still are. But Corey, unfortunately, we have to use the past tense. He was incredible. He was a highly respected former fire chief, respected by everybody. Was accompanied by his wife, Helen, incredible woman. I spoke to her today, devastated, and two precious daughters. He lost his life selflessly, acting as a human shield to protect them from flying bullets. He went right over the top of them and was hit. What a fine man he was.
Look, if y'all don't think that all this is game, all this is just acting right there, I don't know what else to tell y'all, man. I don't know what else to tell y'all. It's wild as hell.
I want to thank the fire department and the family for sending his helmet, his outfit, and it was just something, and they're going to do something very special when they get it. But we did something which cannot match what happened, not even close. But I am very proud to say that over the past few days, we've raised $6.3 million for the families of David, James, and Corey, including from a friend of mine just called up. He sent me a check right here. I just got it. $1 million from Dan Newland. Thank you, Dan. And again, when speaking to the family, I told them, I said, well, I'm going to be sending you a lot of money, but it can't compensate. They all said the same thing. You're right, sir. We appreciate so much what you're doing, but nothing can take the place in the case of Corey and the other two. By the way, they were very, very seriously injured, but now they're doing very well. They're going to be okay. They're going to be doing very well. They're warriors. So now I ask that we observe a moment of silence in honor of our friend Corey.
All right, the moment of silence, chat. Don't y'all be mean like that. Don't y'all be talking during the moment of silence.
There is no greater love than to lay down one's life for others. This is the spirit that forged America in her darkest hours, and this is the love that will lead America back to the summit of human achievement and greatness. This is what we need. Despite such a heinous attack, we unite this evening more determined than ever. I am more determined than ever, and so are you. So is everybody in this room. Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, so that's the end of his speech talking about that, right? So we got one. I'm gonna want to present one more video for y'all, and we're gonna call it a day, y'all. Once again, I appreciate y'all tuning in to the stream. Those of y'all who haven't hit the one thumbs up, make sure y'all do that. All right. So I want to share with y'all one Hulk Hogan speech. All right. We're gonna share Hulk Hogan speech at the one convention. Then after that, we'll be done. Okay. It's right here. I don't think he talked a lot about it.
And now we have more of the speakers, it looks like, who are going to be underway, including Hulk Hogan. Let's keep listening.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. You know something? When I came here tonight, there was so much energy in this room. I felt maybe I was in Madison Square Garden getting ready to win another world title. Or maybe I thought the vibe was so intense, the energy was so crazy, it felt like maybe I was gonna press that no-good stinky giant over my head and slam him through the mat, brother. But what I found out was I was in a room full of real Americans, brother. And at the end of the day, with our leader up there, my hero, that gladiator, we're gonna bring America back together. One real American at a time, brother. You know something? I've seen some great tag teams in my time. Hulk Hogan and, ooh, yeah, the Macho Man Randy Savage. But you know something? I see the greatest tag team of my life standing upon us, getting ready to straighten this country out for all the real Americans. You know, even though you guys are real Americans, you better get ready. Because when Donald J. Trump becomes the President of the United States, all the real Americans are going to be nicknamed Trumpites. Because all the Trumpites are going to be running wild for 4 years. So with the power of Donald J. Trump and all the Trumpites running wild, America is going to get back on track. And like Donald J. Trump said, America is going to be great again. You know, when I look out and I see all the real Americans, I think about how Donald Trump, his family was compromised. When I look out there and I see Donald Trump, I think about how his business was compromised. But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero and they tried to kill the next president of the United States? Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
God damn.
Oh, man.
You know something, Trumpites? I didn't come here as Hulk Hogan, but I just had to give you a little taste. You know, my name is Terry Bollea. And as a
This dude clearly came as Hulk Hogan. He didn't come as Terry. Like, what the hell is he talking about? You dumbass.
You're a lying sack of crap. You're a lying sack of crap. You're a lying, scheming, stinking, nasty sack of liquid crap.
Oh my God.
entertainer, I love you too. And as an entertainer, I tried to stay out of politics. But after everything that's happened to our country over the past 4 years and everything that happened last weekend, I can no longer stay silent. I'm here tonight because I want the world to know that Donald Trump is a real American hero. And I'm proud to support my hero as the next president of this United States. You know, guys, I've known Donald Trump for over 35 years. You know, hold on a second, hold on. I just had a flashback. Man. This is really tripping. You know, the last time I was up on stage, Donald Trump was sitting at ringside at the Trump Plaza. I was bleeding like a pig, and I won the world title right in front of Donald J. Trump. And you know something? He's gonna win in November, and we're all gonna be champions again when he wins.
He said that we all are going to be champion again when we win. Who is the all that he's talking about? Obviously, he's not talking about us unless you're part of the right.
And like I said, I've known that man for over 35 years, and he's always been the biggest patriot, and he still is. He's always told you exactly what he thought, and he still does, brother. And no matter the odds, he always finds a way to win. And when he's back in our White House, America is gonna start winning again.
So since when America was losing, that's what I'm trying to figure out. When were we ever losing?
You know, guys, over my career, I've been in the ring with some of the biggest, some of the baddest dudes on the planet. And I've squared off against warriors, ooh yeah, savages. And I've even, like I said, body slammed giants in the middle of the ring. And I know tough guys, but let me tell you something, brother. Donald Trump is the toughest of them all. They've thrown everything at Donald Trump. All the investigations, the impeachments, the court cases, and he's still standing and kicking their butts. You know, we never had it better than the Trump years. Back then, we had a thriving economy. We had strong borders. We had safe streets. We had peace and respect around the world. But then we lost it all in a blink of an eye. Crime is out of control. The border is out of control. The price of food and gas and housing is out of control. And the only person...
Bro, man, I call bullshit on that.
That's bullshit.
Even while Trump was in the administration, all that was still happening. It didn't just magically just disappear. All that was still happening right now. The border crisis, the housing crisis, all that was still happening during that time frame, bro.
That's bullshit.
Nothing haven't changed.
The person who can clean this up is Donald Trump. You know, guys, I really, really love this country. And I've lived the American dream. And I want my kids, your kids, and all those little teeny Hulkamaniacs out there to live the American dream too. This November, guys, we can save the American dream for everyone. And Donald Trump is the president who will get the job done. So all you criminals, all you lowlifes, all you scumbags, all you drug dealers, and all you crooked politicians need to answer one question, brother. What you gonna do when Donald Trump and all the Trumpomaniacs run wild on you, brother?
All right, so there's one more video. I heard that Amber Rose has spoke too. Hold up. Y'all heard Amber Rose has spoke at the convention too. Amber Rose. All right, so this is gonna be the last video. We're gonna hear Amber Rose speech at the report, whatever. Let us hear Amber Rose speech. Shit.
Please welcome Amber Rose from South Philadelphia.
Hello, my name is Amber Rose. I'm a model and entrepreneur. Thank you. But most importantly, I'm a mother. My whole world revolves around providing for my children, keeping them safe, and giving them an opportunity for a better life. That's something that unites all American parents, whether we're Republicans, Democrats, conservatives, or liberals. We all want a better country for our children.
So why do they got Amber Rose reading from a teleprompter?
That's bullshit.
Because you could clearly tell that's what she's doing.
That's bullshit.
The Trump sitting up here looking at her like, shit. God damn. Hey. Blue said, am I in the Twilight Zone on this great Sunday? Hey, man. It only go downhill from here, Blue.
I'm here tonight to tell you, no matter your political background, that the best chance we have to give our babies a better life is to elect Donald Trump President of the United States. Now, you may be wondering why I'm up here telling you this. I'm no politician, and I don't want to be. But I do care about the truth. And the truth is that the media has lied to us about Donald Trump. I know this because for a long time I believed those lies. So I'm here to set the record straight. The first person I knew who supported Donald Trump was my father. I was shocked. My entire family is racially diverse, and I believed the left-wing propaganda that Donald Trump was a racist. My father said, "No, he's not, Amber. What are you talking about?" And when I insisted, he said, "Prove it." So to prove my father wrong, I did my research and looked into all things Donald Trump. People have to do their research.
See, first of all, she didn't do proper research, all right?
That's bullshit.
Okay, let me put y'all on game on how to do proper research. When you do research, you're not supposed to only research a certain thing that you agree with. Once again, when you do research, you don't research about things that you agree with, but you also supposed to research the things that you disagree with. All right? Say, for example, people were saying that Donald Trump was a racist, right? You're not supposed to research to try to prove them wrong. You're supposed to research them to figure out the reason why they said what they said, to get an understanding. All right? Once when you get an understanding of the why, then you can ask the other questions: who, what, when, where, and how. You know what I'm saying? To formulate your own opinion about that. That's how you truly research. But people, the only way you'll learn how to do that if you actually go to school to learn to do this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Well, when I was taking public speaking courses, right? One of the main things, public speaking is debate in college, right? One of the main things that they taught us to do is that whenever we researching about a topic that we want to debate about, right, you have to learn about the argument, learn about why people think the way that they think, so you can formulate your own opinion about it. The reason why is because, let's say, hypothetically speaking, right, let's say if they try to counter your argument with a rebuttal, it won't catch you off guard because you already know what they're going to say, because you researched it, you studied it, and you understand where they're coming from when they say it, right? Versus just being one-track minded. So yeah, when she did her research, she was one-track minded on that. She only researched what she wanted to see instead of seeing the overall truth behind it.
I watched all the rallies, and I started meeting so many of you, his red hat wearing supporters.
Oh, and one other thing too is that, do y'all notice that that's what I do on my channel all the time too, when I talk about different type of topics, right? There's some topics that I would choose to take the affirmative on, you know what I'm saying? Or another word for the affirmative is that I would choose to be biased with it. And I purposely do that. And the reason why I do that is because I study both perspectives. And so whenever I formulate my argument behind it, I give y'all both point of views about it. Then I tell y'all how the way I feel about it. Do I not? And that's how you do proper research. And that's how you do proper debate as well, too.
I realized Donald Trump and his supporters don't care if you're black, white, gay, or straight. It's all love. And that's when it hit me. These are my people. This is where I belong.
See, it's the whole feeling that you need to belong to something bigger than yourself that gets a lot of people. Once again, it's that feeling to want to be a part of something bigger than yourself that gets a lot of people. Do y'all know, matter of fact, I think Barb mentioned this on earlier about Jim Jones. Do you know that's the reason why people like Jim Jones and David Koresh and all these other cult leaders, that's how they get people, is that they present them with something to make them feel like that they are part of something bigger than themselves. Hence, that's why they have these political parties right now. Have the left, the right, Democrats, Republican, and all this stuff there, liberals, whatever you want to call it, right? Because they made it this way because they want people to, emotionally manipulate people into thinking that they're part of something bigger than themselves. Hence also, and I hate to mention this, but hence also, that's the reason why religion is permanent the way it is right now too. Because even in religion, they make people feel like that they're bigger than, that they're part of something bigger than themselves. That's why they're more than willing to go into a church house and literally give up their whole entire paycheck for a false cause, to pay a building that you don't even own. We need you to want to pay tithes so we can keep our building up and running. So you literally sit up here paying 2 mortgages, right? And 2 utility bills, one for your household and another for the church. All because they want you to believe that you're doing this something that is something bigger than yourself.
So I let go of my fear of judgment, of being misunderstood, of getting attacked by the left, and I put the red hat on too. Thank you. Love you too. I never felt more free and more love for my country than I do now. I want to thank my father, who's in the audience tonight, for opening my eyes. He served over 20 years in the U.S. military. Thank you for your service, Dad. Where's he at? I love you, Dad. I love you. I love you so much. Thank you. When I met the president and Melania for the first time, he was kind and generous and funny as hell. Very funny. The First Lady was gracious and smart with a smile that will brighten up any room. If you're watching this tonight, you know our country is in trouble. Just like me. When you go to the store and buy food for your family, you're shocked. When you fill up your gas tank, you're pissed. I know I am.
How is she shocked and pissed when she's part of the upper level population of the people? You know what I'm saying? She's part of the elite. She's part of the actors and different things like that. So how is she in the same struggles with us normal, average people? How? When gases go up, it don't bother her. She's just gonna pay the price and keep it moving because she got the money to do that.
And when you turn on the news, you are just exhausted. Inflation is out of control. And you know in your heart it was not like this under Donald Trump. My message to you tonight comes from a humble place. The left told me to hate Trump, and even worse, to hate the other side, the people who support him. When you cut through the lies, you realize the truth. American families were better when Donald Trump was president. We were safer, wealthier, and stronger. A vote for Donald Trump is a vote to put money back in our pockets and good food on our kids' plates. Yes. Or, as Trump would say, it's a vote to make America great again. Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, y'all, that's Amber Rose. Down. This dude look goofy as hell. Like, what the hell, bro? Hey, old boy right here. Old boy right here, he looking like, thank you, Amber. I did look at your OnlyFans, by the way. Hey, Amber. I'm user 1429382 who sent you $1,000. Oh my goodness, Lord Jesus. But other than that, y'all, that is it for this episode, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this. Let me know what you think about Biden stepping down as his candidacy for president. Let me know what y'all think about possibly Kamala running in his place as well too. And let me know what y'all think about the Republican convention as well too. These speakers that spoke on Donald Trump. We had Hulk Hogan. We had also Amber Rose that spoke as well too. Y'all let me know what you think about that as well too. I'll be following the Democratic convention and seeing what's happening with that. And I may do a show showing the different speakers talking about that as well too. So once again, appreciate everybody on this fine Sunday. Stand up and watching this whole entire show. I appreciate y'all a whole lot. I really do. I really do. Those of y'all who not sub up to the channel, what are you waiting for? Sub up to the channel right now and hit that thumbs up right now because it helps the channel out. With all this good old thought-provoking content that Urban be put out and stuff, right? And my moderator say that Urban, hey, you one of the hardest working on content creators that I know in this YouTube streets, which is facts. I do put in the work for real though. I put in the work and I also help out other people as well too. Sure, I really do. So I appreciate y'all a whole lot. Blue said, man, bro, I got to detox my mind out of all this bullshit.
That's bullshit.
I'm just saying. But yeah, I feel you on that. I feel you on that for real. So other than that, y'all have a great Sunday. Y'all be safe out there in the YouTube streets and in real life as well too. And peace out.